Before we get going, I would love you to have a crack at my quick fire quiz. This is all about trying to discover how much you already know about your business strategy, but I'm keeping it really simple. I've got 10 quick questions for you to take a look at and to answer. And the challenge is, how well can you answer them? Because these are not one-word answers. So the first question is, who is your customer? That should be pretty straightforward, I would have thought. Question 2, why do they buy from you? Have you ever thought about that? Question 3, who is your main competitor? And again, that's a really important thing you should already know. And question 4, why is your product or service better than theirs? Why is your product or service better than your main competitors? Well, I hope it is. Question 5, what is your greatest strength? That'll require some thought. Question 6, what is your company's greatest weakness? You can see strength, weakness, they balance out. Question 7, what is the greatest market opportunity you have right now? Have you thought about that? Question 8, what is the gravest threat your company is facing? And you get an extra bonus mark if you can work out why I've asked those 4 questions. Question 9, where do you want your business to be in 5 years' time? Now that was probably more than a one-word answer. And question 10, and this is a really searching one, how much cash did your business have in the bank last night to the nearest $100? And that's not a trick question. I'm not really interested in how much cash your business had, but you should be, and you should be able to answer that question. So in the next lecture, you can find my answers. Well, when I say answers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss the questions in a bit more detail to highlight their significance, show you why I've asked them, and hopefully you'll begin to understand that there is a lot of strategic thinking behind the questions I've posed in this quick fire quiz. So that's a bit of fun, a quick fire quiz to get the course started, but I also want to get you thinking straight away about your business strategy, and ultimately this is stuff that will feed into your business plan. Thank you for taking the quick fire quiz. The big question, I guess, is how did you do with the quiz? Well, actually, this is not really a set of answers because there is no definitive answer. This is more like a set of more questions. But what I want to do is to take you through the questions, because the whole purpose of the quiz was to get you thinking straight out the gate about your business strategy and your business plan. So I'm going to take a look at each question in turn and discuss what they can mean for your business. Now, all of these topics and many more are discussed in the course, both theoretically and practically. And of course, the whole idea of this course is to help you address these issues within a systematic framework, as well as enabling you to bring them into your business plan for your business. Now, I've deliberately scripted this lecture and included the text in the slides, one, to make it easier for you to follow, and secondly, so that you can download the PDF of this slide deck and you can look at the information in your own time. So question 1, who is your customer? Now, you should have a very clear idea about who your customer is, even a detailed avatar. Your market positioning should be designed with your customer in mind, and your whole business purpose should be to make the customer experience as rewarding for them as possible. In his Delta model, which we discuss in detail in the customer value proposition section of the course, Arnoldo Hacks proposes 3 customer-centric strategies: best product, total consumer solution, and system lock-in. So the question from me to you is, which of these are you most close to following? This customer that you're targeting should be part of a clearly identified market segment, and you should understand exactly how they find you, come to like and trust you, and decide to buy from you, which of course leads us on to the next question. Why do they buy from you? What is so special about your product that customers want to buy it? How do you position your product in the market? And do you have a clear strategy for reaching customers and persuading them to buy? What is your USP? What value do you create for your customer? In the course, we discuss the concept of competitive advantage. This involves doing something for your customers that your competitors cannot match. We discuss the role of the Bellman's clock of strategic positioning to help you identify your USP. So where have you positioned your business in the market to compete? The next question is, who is your main competitor? Do you know who your main competitor or competitors are? How competitive is your industry? What is the level of rivalry and competitive intensity? How are you positioned against them, and are you growing your market share when compared to their growth? Are you aware of any recent new entrants to your market? These are all questions thrown up by Michael Porter's 5 forces model, with which you will become familiar later in the course. Without being personal, is your business a cow or a dog? Maybe it's a question mark. I hope it's a star. These are the 4 fundamental blocks from the BCG, Boston Consulting Group Matrix, which will help you to ensure that you are correctly evaluating your company's relative competitiveness as well as the attractiveness of the markets you are in. Question 4. What is your product? Why is your product or service better than those of your competitors? What is it about your product that enables you to stand out in the market? We discuss both product differentiation and diversification to help you understand how your business can outcompete those of your competitors. But we also tie this in with the discussions of competitive intensity and the industry and business life cycles to give you even more help to ensure that you have a strategy to compete. You're not just turning up and saying a prayer. So the next question I have for you is, what is your company's greatest strength? The next 4 questions, in fact, are your first SWOT analysis in this course: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, and it certainly won't be the last. This framework is a fundamental building block of business strategy and one you must be familiar with. What does this tell you about your business? How are you leveraging this strength to improve sales and profitability? Is there any linkage to business performance? If so, what is it? How does this help you compete in the market, and is it a deliberate strategy? So if we looked at strengths, what is your company's greatest weakness? What are you going to do about this? How long have you known? This is likely to be an internal issue, so what can you do to fix it? What will it cost? How long will it take? What will happen if you don't address this issue? Remember that strengths and weaknesses are primarily internal factors under your control, so there is no excuse for not pressing your strength advantage and rectifying your weaknesses. Question 7. What is the greatest market opportunity you have right now? Now we move to the external side of the SWOT analysis model. Why has this opportunity come about? What is your strategic response to this opportunity? How will this translate into sales and profits? How can you take advantage of the opportunity while denying your competitors the same opportunity? Question 8, the other side of the SWOT analysis: what is the gravest threat your company is facing? Where is this threat coming from? How likely is it to occur? What happens to your business if it does? What can you do to prevent it happening? How much will this cost? What is the likely impact on profits and sales if you don't address this issue? In the course, we also address black swan events, which in the light of the current coronavirus pandemic has never been more relevant. Are you planning for the next black swan event? Question 9, I asked you, where do you want your business to be in 5 years' time? Have you even thought about this? In financial terms, what do you expect your sales and profits to be? What level are they going to be at? Can you grow this much organically? If not, will you need to make acquisitions? Will you need to seek external finance? I'll share with you my own strategy analyzer model to answer these questions. Too often, entrepreneurs aim for the moon and expect to be able to catch the number 29 bus to Clapham Common to get there. By this, I mean there is a mismatch between their ambitions and their feasibility. In order to achieve extraordinary growth, you may well have to harness additional financial resources and/or make acquisitions. Have you thought this through? The final question is, how much cash did your business have in the bank last night to the nearest $100? And this is not a spurious question. Do you know? Do you know every single night? How closely do you manage your cash flow and working capital? Are you running the business as efficiently as you could? What would happen if there was a sudden downturn? Sorry, there is a sudden downturn. What is happening? In the financial sections, we help you to get a clear understanding of the three major financial statements, showing you how the important ratios can help you to understand them, and we also go into company valuation. Any entrepreneur who's not right on top of his numbers will not be trusted by investors. We would not want that to be you. So I ask you again, how did you do? There is no right answer. I'm more interested in your evaluation of how deeply you thought about these questions and how many more questions these questions suggest to you. That is the real secret behind good strategy and planning. Keep asking yourself, so what? So what does this mean for my business? Keep digging deeper into issues to improve your understanding. With better understanding comes better solutions. This course is not here to give you answers. This course is here to ask you questions and give you frameworks and systems to help you find your own right answers. The answers that are right for your business. So that's the quickfire quiz. I hope you now can see the purpose behind it. It was to demonstrate to you that strategic thinking and business planning, one, go hand in hand, but secondly, there's so much more depth and complexity to it than at first meets the eye. That's why this course is over 14 hours long, and that's why I set the quiz to help get you started and get you thinking about your business strategy and your business plan.